In The Bold and the Beautiful, an unthinkable twist is set to shake Los Angeles to its core when Hope Logan's shocking secret comes to light. She killed Quinn Fuller and is now plotting to kill Carter Walton. What begins as a perfect wedding day spirals into a nightmare that leaves Steffy Forrester racing against time to stop a tragedy before it happens. The story begins when Hope starts behaving strangely after a confrontation with Quinn. Viewers remember that Quinn had been pushing Hope's buttons for weeks, taunting her about Liam and Steffy, and suggesting that Hope could never be bold enough to handle the chaos that comes with being part of the Forrester world. But what no one knew was that a private argument between the two women ended in violence. One night, after a heated dispute at Quinn's old jewelry studio, things escalated beyond control. Quinn mocked Hope about her fragile nature and claimed she was weak compared to women like Steffy. In a moment of rage and emotional collapse, Hope pushed Quinn, who fell and struck her head on a sharp edge of the workbench. Hope panicked when she realized Quinn wasn't breathing. Instead of calling for help, she fled the scene and staged it to look like Quinn had left town again. For weeks, everyone assumed Quinn had taken off to start over somewhere new, just as she had done before. Carter, devastated but convinced she had simply needed space, threw himself into his work and began moving on. But Hope's guilt grew unbearable. She started having nightmares, seeing Quinn's face everywhere, and hearing her voice echoing in her mind. The tension reaches new heights when Carter finds a mysterious message in Quinn's old studio, a message Hope accidentally left behind during the cover-up. It's a torn piece of her scarf with traces of blood, hidden behind a cabinet. Carter shows the evidence to Steffy, who immediately senses that something is very wrong. Steffy begins her own investigation, quietly questioning Hope under the guise of concern. Hope's answers are inconsistent, and her nerves are clearly fraying. Steffy confides in Finn, telling him she believes Hope is hiding something dark. Finn, who's seen trauma up close as a doctor, recognizes the signs of guilt and panic in Hope's behavior. Meanwhile, Hope's mental state continues to deteriorate. She becomes convinced that Carter knows the truth, and that he's going to expose her. Twisted by fear and paranoia, Hope starts plotting to silence him, just as she did Quinn. She rationalizes it as self-defense, convinced that if Carter talks, her entire life, her family, her reputation, her son, will be destroyed. As the day of Carter's wedding approaches, he's set to marry Paris. Hope's plan takes shape. She manages to get close to Carter under the pretense of wanting to help with last-minute arrangements. But Steffy, now certain something terrible is about to happen, decides she must act fast. On the morning of the wedding, Steffy confronts Brooke with her suspicions. Brooke refuses to believe that her daughter could be capable of murder, but Steffy's evidence, the missing jewelry pieces from Quinn's studio, the blood-stained scarf and surveillance footage showing Hope near the site the night Quinn disappeared, makes it impossible to deny. Steffy rushes to the wedding venue, where Carter and Paris are about to exchange vows. Just as Hope slips away toward the backstage area, carrying a hidden syringe filled with a sedative meant for Carter, Steffy bursts in and yells for the ceremony to stop. The crowd freezes. Ridge, Brooke, and Liam all look shocked as Steffy announces that Hope Logan is dangerous, that she killed Quinn and plans to harm Carter next. Hope, cornered and panicking, tries to deny it, but when Steffy reveals the evidence, Hope breaks down completely. Through tears, she confesses that she didn't mean to do it, that Quinn's death was an accident, but Carter was never supposed to find out. The entire room is stunned. Carter is horrified, realizing how close he came to being the next victim of Hope's unraveling mind. Brooke collapses in tears as her daughter is taken away, begging everyone to understand that Hope wasn't in her right mind. Steffy's quick thinking saves Carter's life, but the fallout is devastating. The Forrester and Logan families are torn apart once again. Brooke blames Steffy for publicly humiliating Hope, while Steffy insists she did what she had to do. Ridge stands torn between them, trying to hold the family together as the truth sinks in. Hope's arrest becomes one of the most emotional moments the show has seen in years. In her final breakdown, she sobs to Liam that she only ever wanted to protect her family and that Quinn's death wasn't supposed to happen. Liam is shattered, torn between love and disbelief, as he watches the woman he thought he knew being led away in handcuffs. In the aftermath, Steffy struggles with guilt over exposing Hope so brutally but knows she saved Carter's life. Brooke vows to fight for her daughter, and Ridge warns everyone that the scandal will have consequences for Forrester Creations. The shocking truth about Quinn's death, Hope's unraveling mental state, and Steffy's desperate intervention turn what should have been a